the subscribe button. But yeah, man, this is my thoughts in the game, people. Like, what, first half now? I think we made a, obviously, as you lot saw, you know. In fact, sorry, people, because I always get aware that some of you don't watch via live streams, so I like to obviously clip these up. So I need to write down when am I gonna start talking about this? AFC review came at, let's say, 27:00, which is in 3 seconds. So yeah, people. Now, going into the game, I'm sure a lot of you expected, you know, Arsenal would have to sit back, remain penned in. There's going to be a number of 2v1s, a number of 2v1s down the flanks. You know, Pulisic. I feel Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi were the only Chelsea players that really looked like they were up for anything. Personally, but I'm sure a bulk of you expected that. You know, you expected a very attacking Chelsea side, a team that was going to dominate the midfield, a team that was going to create 2v1s with Chilwell down the left-hand side and Reece James, both sides linking up with their wingers. Obviously, they put a lot of crosses in, and it's the Giroud derby. We all thought Giroud would score. They've obviously got Zuma and players of that ilk that can score from set pieces. Pardon me. So going into the game, I was pleasantly surprised with the first 10 minutes. I feel Arsenal were positive, you know, especially down the left-hand side with Martinelli and Tierney. Saka was on it on the right-hand side. Captain for the day, Bellerin. To be fair to you, Bellerin rose to the occasion, as you saw, people. You know, he looked like a captain for this game. He rose to the occasion. He's putting in crosses. He's getting forward. He's switched on defensively. I feel Bellerin, like a number of players, he let himself down for the goal, but there was a number of important headers that he made. So yeah, man to a man, I think we was confident. I could see Lacazette pressing, and throughout the game, Mendy, Zuma, all of these players were being caught in possession because we was pressing. So I feel the young G's were all up for it. Smith Rowe was down for it. I think he was a bit hot and cold in patches, but Smith Rowe was down for the cause. Martinelli and Saka led by example. Tierney bombing down that left-hand flank. Xhaka and Elneny looked up for it. A couple of times they lost the ball needlessly and showed old habits, but generally they look good. I feel Marie and Holding, I know at the end of the day, Marie let in a penalty or conceded a penalty that nothing came about of it, but I think both of them got very tight expertly to Tammy Abraham, and they frustrated him, and you could see him visibly upset every time he missed an opportunity. You know, I think we outdone them tactically. I don't know why we won this game. I'm gonna watch it again, but I was impressed with the first 10. But I'm always having in the back of my head, you know, are Chelsea doing that thing where Spurs did it to a degree and Leicester did it, where you allow us on the ball, you know, we have the ball, we have lots of possession, we start to get a bit confident, bordering on complacency. You start to see our midfielders and wingers and whatnot fly forward and gaps open, and you hit us on the break. So although I'm liking what we're doing, I'm not convinced, because at the end of the day, we need to score really and truly, and we're still not really shooting or really doing anything of that nature. So yeah, man, we was confident going forward. I think we look convincingly defensively. We're going, you know, we're tracking back together, we're pressing together. If one man makes a tackle, it doesn't bang, the next man is there to try. You know, I was interested in Chelsea's 4-5. It looked like a 4-5-1 off the ball. And I did think, even initially, before he conceded the penalty, I actually feel Reece James was the one the goal was going to come from, because I personally felt we was giving him too much time out there to set up a cross. And Reece James has shown you, you know, he can do a madness. 15 minutes in, I think we, you know, so far so good. I don't know why it says do, but in the heat of it, you're not going to make much sense when you're speeding. Like I said, I can't believe it. Bellerin's actually crossing. Xhaka's actually passing forward, like Elneny. But there was a moment, I can't lie, there was a stupid foul from him. And there was a lovely little back heel flick. I can't lie. As a neutral, he got ripped. Kovacic sent him. That's all Kovacic did, really and truly. But yeah, like I said, ultimately it's positive. And that's what I wanted to see. I wanted us to look like a football team. I saw heart. I saw passion. I saw desire. I saw work ethic. I saw fear of letting down the collective. I saw accountability in performances, and I saw, crucially, a system from the manager and galvanization. I don't know if it's the Christmas spirit. I don't know if they've had the players and the manager, they've all had an honest, clear the air talk. I don't know if we've done meditation. I don't know why, but I saw a different mentality, and mentality is everything. We can talk about tactics and players and whatnot. It's the mentality that's going to make the difference. And I saw a football team that looked like they wanted to stand up to be coward, and looked like they were up for a game, and looked like they wanted to win. And that's, if we did lose that, that's the things I wanted to see from our boys. I can't complain if my players show me that sort of thing. So yeah, man, like I said, I'm just buzzing that we're still in the game. I spoke on the mentality, and you feel we could grab a couple of goals. And I was thinking, I thought it was going to be a thing. Aubameyang could. I've mentioned the centre halves are getting very tight. I can't lie. When Marie got that yellow card, people, I did think maybe he should get subbed off eventually because, again, you know, he's not the quickest. When Chelsea are chasing the game, is he going to get in scenarios where that could potentially be of a case? I did feel 20 minutes in, Chelsea began to wake up, and the game began to become a bit too open for me. I did feel El Nene at times needlessly was giving the ball away for as good as he played, like just getting caught in the middle. And there was one pass he tried to force. He forced Holding to make a good sliding tackle, and even Holding had a couple of occasions like that. I don't know why that's there. That was a comment I made of in the game. Manchester City have just scored, by the way. And like I said, you know, crucially, what I didn't want at 0-0, for as good as we're playing, it's 0-0. I didn't want to get lured into a false sense of security or a false sense of confidence, people, really and truly. And like I said, I felt Reece James was going to make something happen sooner rather than later with one of his crosses. I'm not going to lie, though. I did think Chelsea was still hungover. It did feel like Chelsea were chasing, you know, lost causes. They were getting caught with triangles. They looked a bit slow and lethargic. For me, I'm seeing these players struggle to play 5-yard passes, people. Literally, Mason Mount and Kante. There was one time they were trying to link up. It went out for a throw. I couldn't believe it from a Chelsea perspective. And you could tell Lampard is going to dig into these players when he gets in at halftime. And that's why, as an Arsenal fan, I want to score, because we've had games where we've looked all right in the first half, and then it's been a completely different team that's come out in the second, like against Manchester City, where you saw some errors with the goalkeeper, but generally, I don't know what was said at halftime. And the same could be said in many games, really. You know, the only two times we've been positive past the second half for me has been against Sheffield United when we turned it around, and obviously in this game. So yeah, man, as you lot already knew, you know, down the left hand side, Martinelli and Gabriel were causing havoc, as was Bukayo Saka. And sooner rather than later, it was going to happen. You know, Tierney's got inside of Reece James. Reece James clipped him. Tierney's gone down. It is a penalty, people. And at this point, we've gone 1-0 ahead. I thought we'd win 1-0 if anything, and that would have probably have been our goal of the month. And like I said, that's what, you know, when I hear talk about luck, I'll speak about it. That's what I mean by luck. You know, I don't like hearing Arteta talk about luck when the team ain't working hard. When you work hard and there's a game plan and things, you get luck. Like, you know, there's an attacking phase of play and there's a foul and you get a pen. That's luck for me, because that's rewarded through your hard work. You know, and like I said, clearly I'm very annoyed about, not annoyed, but I want to make a point about being careless on the ball. So we're 1-0 up. I can't complain, people, really and truly. 2-0 up shortly after. Forgive me if I'm wrong, around 10 minutes or so after. So we had a good little spell, really and truly. I can't even remember, really. Let's go back. Let's actually see the minutes of when these goals went in. I said us now. Yeah, there was 10-minute difference, 34th and 44th. So that little stage for me in particular was where we was wreaking havoc, people. Like that's where I think we really cut them open. We did earn a lot of corners, and we still love a short corner, which on another day is what it is. But I was impressed with how we was pressing. Like, there was even an incident where Saka caught Thiago Silva, and I was thinking, Thiago, you've been good this season. How are you getting caught on that? I think their whole team looked nervous. There was a nervy moment in the second half with Mendy where Lacazette could have added a fourth. Thiago had a nervy moment. You know, Kante was quite poor today. You know, he's got the most interceptions in the Prem. How many times did he get spanned today? Like, you're getting spanned by Xhaka. Xhaka is doing 360s on you. That's how you know you're playing poor. You know, Saka was fouled, if I remember correctly, in the build-up to Xhaka's free kick. And I must admit, I was a bit pessimistic on Xhaka's free kick, you know, but Xhaka scored a worldie, you know. Credit to Xhaka. It's 2-0 to us. You know, it's another banger. You know, Xhaka doesn't score often, but when he does, they tend to be from outside the area. And it's from a dead ball situation. So we've got our goal of the month contenders. And we've scored from 2 dead ball situations, people. Ironically, I'm not sure too many people will care. So going into half-time now, as you can see here, people, it's a big half for both teams because, like I said, it's 2-0. At this moment, it's a dangerous lead because, as you lot know, 2-0, it goes to 2-1. You have a decision to make. You press for that third or you sit back. Now, I know Arsenal can go to a back five and Arsenal can be described as defensive, just not despite not statistically looking like a good team defensively. But you probably wouldn't have been of the mind that we could see out a 2-1 lead as Chelsea begin to press and maybe bring on Giroud and service balls into the box. And we all knew Callum Hudson-Odoi was going to play. As I said, Pulisic is doing well. And as I said, there's been too many times this season, it's been like two different teams coming out in the second half, and we needed a reaction and we needed to play better. So what I wanted to see is the same intent. I was actually scared that we was playing well and we weren't going to score against them, because in the second half it could be different. But like I said, it needed to be a big half from both these teams, really. We had 2 shots on target, I think, and we had 2 goals. So I'm not going to complain. But again, can we shoot more? We did have a lot of efforts, but can we test the keeper a bit more? Crucially for me, man to a man, standing up to be counted. I don't know who looked the best player. I'm seeing midfielders, keepers, defenders, everyone scared of defeat. Everybody looking like they want to win a game of football and back up their manager and put this losing run away. And like I said, well, again, for me, this is the perfect sorry from Xhaka. I know he didn't say sorry, but this is the best way. A good performance and a banger like that. And I think both of those 2 players in particular, they're proving their manager right based on today. I thought the centre-halves did well as well. Shout out to them. I think Saka, Martinelli and Tierney, as well as everyone else, did well. Shout out to Smith Rowe, who's having his moments. Grew into the game as it went on. Second half is when, you started to see more, as obviously Chelsea are going to press, legs are going to begin to tire and whatnot. And this was a lovely move from front to back. This was a goal from last season for me. That goal was from last season. It's from front to back. It starts with Leno. Ultimately, it ends with Bellerin passing it to Smith Rowe and Saka trying to put in a cross. You get the rub of the green sometimes. That goal's unexplainable, but Saka deserved that. Forget the goal and assist for Saka and Smith Rowe respectively. I think they played well and they deserve that, man. It's a lovely, well-worked Haaland goal. Bellerin involved as well. Bellerin, I haven't said his name too much. He had a very good game, in my humble opinion. And obviously, it's Saka's second goal of the season. Now, there were some moments I thought we was going to make it 4. Martinelli should have made it 4 with 1 effort. Lacazette the same. And I actually feel Joe Willock should have hit the target. Now, 3-1, I feel there needs to be something said in VAR because I'm an Arsenal fan and obviously I would have liked to have benefited, but I don't know why they tried to rule Tammy Abraham's one out. Maybe the linesman's an Arsenal fan, in which I respect it, but he's onside, I felt that's where we did let ourselves down. I don't feel it was so much Pepe's fault, but I do think Pepe, Bellerin, Holding, El Nene, Bellerin in particular, they're not aware of the midfield runner, and we did quite well. Like I said, there was a number of important blocks from Rob Holding throughout the game. Bellerin played well defensively as much as attacking. He done an important header. We've played well, but we let ourselves down for that goal. And they've eventually scored. They've made it 3-1. Obviously, you've got to big up Leno because I think he's technically saved a penalty against Southampton once, and he was unlucky. But big up Leno because he saved that penalty from Jorginho, who tried to do the Bruno Fernandes thing. It didn't bang. Safe. And kept us in the game. And obviously we saw Mustafi come on. So it was a good performance, man. Disappointed not to have a clean sheet, but obviously I'm reaching a bit and you can't, just the fact that we've won is good enough, people. It's 3 points. We climb up the table. My final points are, well, this is for talking about in a second, but my final thoughts essentially are what I've been echoing already. No complaints about the lineup because we won, and that's how fickle it is, And that goes back to my point I was saying about the players need to prove Arteta right. Because if it went left today, we're looking at why Bellerin played, why Xhaka played. We might question a number of other stuff. Why are you leaving Aubameyang on the bench? Boom, 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 and all of this stuff. Heart and desire, crucially. Forget the lineup, forget the tactics, all of that stuff. If you're not down to play a game of football, if you're not down to be in the trenches today, then safe. You shouldn't be playing. And this is what I saw. I saw 11 players and people come off the bench looking like a football team. It looked like we had a plan. Big up Arteta, because 9 times out of 10, it don't look like we have a plan. And I felt definitely because of how I think we played a weakened lineup midweek, I felt we needed to put in a performance today because we've doubled down on this game and it's been backed up. For me, crucially, desire, because if we lost, some fans could say, no, Pepe, no Aubameyang. Well, Pepe didn't start. No Aubameyang, Gabriel and Partey. But that's what happens. That's football. 38 games, injuries, suspensions, loss of form, managers' decisions. These are all things that happen. You've got to just shut up and get on with it. And you know, we're not Liverpool, but Liverpool have had enough injuries. They're getting on with it. We need to get on with it. Yes, we've been dealt a shorthand. Feel sorry for Arteta because he's just had to deal with hella injuries, the corona, you know, the wage stuff, the Ozil stuff. There's been bare stuff he's had to deal with as a manager. But at the end of the day, these things happen, people. These things are a reality, and players need to stand up to be counted. And now, you know, regardless of how poor Pepe's played, you know, he's still going to play regular football if it was me. But if you're Bellerin, you know, if you're Lacazette, you know, if you're Xhaka, again, let's just say, for excluding Pepe, people, let's just say these three players came back in tomorrow. You know, for me, they walk into the side because not too much changes in this result. But, you know, based on today's game, they'd all have to fight to earn their place back. And that's what I want to see. Desire, passion, people fighting. I saw people fighting for the team, for the manager, for the fans, but crucially themselves. I never saw self-respect. Football isn't one on paper, as you guys know. And definitely I was hoping with that going into the game because the form we have in and the golf in class between the sides, definitely with the injuries. I like to see players being a bit more demanding. Like Lacazette was seen on a couple of occasions getting onto El Nene for not passing it forward. You know, like I said, for me, this is luck. You know, this is luck. This is luck for me. You know, luck for me is you work hard on something all week. You train. You be afraid of letting your fellow man down. You know, you work on a game plan. Then you get the luck. You might get you know, when you've worked on attacking play and you've broken, like how you did for Saka's goal, you might get luck. Luck for me is that break where I saw a system from Leno. Like I said, it was a goal like last season. It's gone from Leno to however many other players. You know, Bellerin's passed it to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's giving it to Saka. Saka's had a lot of luck with his cross just going in. That's for me is luck because we've worked on something all week, so we've seen some desire. You know, that's what I'm happy about. That's luck. Not when Arteta's previously come around and said, yeah, we just need a bit of luck. You make your own luck. You literally made your own luck for all of them goals. So for me, you know, that's luck. Everything, you know, have you not heard the saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get? It's not because of luck. It's because things fall into place. You know, I genuinely believe the universe in funny sort of ways rewards hard work. Like you saw, you know, Leno's been working hard. So he looks good with the penalty save. And you could put the penalty being saved down to this luck through working hard. You get the goals, you get the penalties, you know, you get the Saka thing, you know, you get the rest of it, people, from working hard. Crucially for me as well, play the kids. Now, the kids might play well today and fluky against Brighton, but again, play the young kids that have a point to prove and play the experienced players that don't want to lose their shirts. You know, play players that want to earn it. I haven't seen historically this season, there's been too many players playing week in, week out. So Haaland will be where we need to be looking at. And crucially for me, my last point is enjoy the moment, enjoy tonight. Like I said, I hope they enjoy a good night with their family, the players. Can take care, tuck into some Xmas leftovers, you know, maybe a late training session or recovery session tomorrow. But come Monday morning, forget about it. It's all dead because we've got a tough run of games to come, people, really and truly. And anyone that's not with it, they need to say so. Because look, you know, you've got Brighton away, you've got West Brom away. They're going to be two very different games. We're defending the FA Cup, and I'm sure we want to play well. I'm sure Newcastle don't want to get embarrassed in that competition after getting embarrassed against Brentford, courtesy of Josh De Silva. You know, we've got Crystal Palace to come. We've got Newcastle in relative quick succession. You know, we've got Southampton away there. You've got United at home in January, and I'm sure they want to put things right. You've got Wolves away. You've got Villa away. You've got Leeds. Look at those last 3 games in shot, people. 4 games, in fact, in shot, you know. Stand up to be counted. So if there is going to be a turning point, you know, them man there need to show it now. Like they need to show it now. And for me, I'm not too sure if there's going to be a turning point because are the boys going to sit around? The boys and the players might say, yeah, let's carry this on. This is the minimum now. I hope that's the case. And not sounding pessimistic, I wanted to see that when you finished your unbeaten record at United. I wanted to see that off the back of the FA Cup run. So I need to see something before I believe it. So I don't know if it's going to be a turning point. Do I think the board are sitting there saying, yo, if we, from now to the summer, do what we can in January, try to salvage the season. But if we start moving serious, there might be something in here, this football club. Is too much going to change? I'm not too sure. I think the board will be happy that we've won because it's slightly less pressure on Arteta based on today. It probably means you can employ him a week longer if the pressure that has been here probably eased off after this good result and euphoria, but it's been here. less pressure on him. And obviously for the fans, let's be real, that because we won today, there's going to be less of this Kroenke, of this, it's not good enough from Edu and all of this business. Pressure is a privilege. You've responded to the pressure today, but you've got to do it more. And as much as I think it's going to be a turn, it could spark our season. It very well can, but the whole club needs to, because there's not too much to salvage from this season. There's a lot of points to be played and a lot of games to be played, but that's only going to happen if this becomes the minimum. On one hand, I'm praising this fight, desire, playing for the shirt, playing for the manager, playing for yourselves, not letting down your collective, having a game plan and executing it perfectly. That's great. But these are the minimums. These are the minimums for any football team. I shouldn't be praising that. And are they going to do it till it's the minimum? I'm not too sure. Are they going to show it on a consistent basis? I'm not sure, because I don't know what we're going to get from Brighton. We need to take it on a game-by-game basis, deal with what we deal with, praise and critique fairly. We've given them a lot of energy in their losing run. We've got to praise the boys for tonight. But then again, you've got to go again. The only ones that can salvage this season and say, is it a turning round or a turning point, either in individual players' careers here who played well or collectively as a club, it's down to them and the managers, down to the manager to be bold again with some of his selections, because players have repaid him today. I'm not even focusing on Bellerin and Xhaka because they're always going to play, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, even Lacazette, they've justified it. You went with the editing last 2 times in the Prem, it didn't work. It's no coincidence. You change things up, things happen differently. So I'd say Arteta's probably learned a lesson and not overcomplicating things. And I hope the players are up for it. But it's easy to be up for Chelsea, with all due respect. I need to see it in every game. So the only ones that are going to be able to tell us if this is a turning point is the players, in my opinion, people. Only they can say this is a turnaround thing, really. And that's it. That's what it means to me, for me, people. If we look at some statistics, Arsenal's goals versus Chelsea, Xhaka, Saka. You've got to retweet that one, man. That one's funny. It was always going to happen. Let's look at some statistics. Shaqwa have obviously said that. There's not really too much in terms of the way of statistics. Can you zoom in on this? I don't want to install the app Twitter. I want to zoom in for the people, then. Oh. So, yeah, you can zoom in. As you look, oh, let me zoom out one more, man. I've deaded it for you, like, innit? I'm ramping. But yeah, as you can see, I don't want you to follow these two. Let's see what the Twitter tigs are saying. Just Shaqwa. Beanos, man. He's got this is my guy. So as you can see, Bukayo Saka is the youngest player to score for Arsenal on Boxing Day since Cliff Baston did against Man City in 1930. Martinelli has managed twice as many shots on target in this game as Willian all season, which tells you the difference and tells you who is on this and who isn't. Chelsea scored with their first shot on target, which tells you more of the same from Arsenal. We actually did save a penalty. Like, it's crazy. We had 7 shots at our point on target, which is the second most for Arsenal in a game after the Norwich game at home in July, which tells you, again, it's not rocket science. You play your best players, you get a better result. You play your better players, you get a result. You start shooting. You're more likely to score. A lot to be turned around, but still not all the way there yet. But who cares, man? And we still haven't lost on Boxing Day since 1987. So again, crucially, the players have been part of negative statistics all season. You're the first team to let Wolves come and mash us up, Burnley come and mash us up, Leicester come and mash us up, Wolves come and mash us up, Villa come and mash us up for the first time at home all in a minute. And you could have been part of you avoided it against Southampton. You avoided it today, people. Big up Leno for actually saving the penalty. Pardon me. 3 players tied for the most tackles in the game. Joe Willett come on. So again, Joe Willett's good for the industry, but we need to see what he's bringing when it's not a game like this. Martinelli's work rate are crazy. This is, for me, Martinelli's up there for man of the match. He might not have scored or assisted, but if you're watching football, you saw what he brought to the table. That's what energy can do for you. Obviously, this is under Mikel Arteta. This is the longest run without a clean sheet at home in the Premier League since 1988. So again, there's still a lot of work. And one theme has been cheap goals. And that goal we did give away is cheap, really and truly. As you can see, Saka covered the most distance of any player tonight in the game. Crazy work ethic, and he is a special talent. 11.5 kilometers. Smith Rowe has a goal involvement in every 52 minutes in all competitions. Still a lot of development, as you saw in his game, but no coincidence. You know, Lacazette has scored in 4 of his last 5 he's played where Michael Oliver's been the referee. So that's a random fact. But who cares, people, really and truly? You know, it's good for us, really. It's good for us. You know, as the comments from Arteta come out yet? No, we ain't got Arteta coming out yet. But you know, these were comments before, and you know, the next few games have been crucial, and maybe the players have taken heed. You know, the next 7 to 8 days are crucial, or are going to be crucial to where we're going to be heading in the Premier League. The best medicine when you are in this situation is to win a football match. Every defeat is another hurting moment, another moment of disappointment, another moment you have to lift yourself up. That's what we've got to do. I think the medicine for all of us would be to come here against Chelsea, beat them, and then move from here is exactly what we need. So again, you know, it's crazy. And he said we have to draw a line. A lot of things happened against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. Again, we have to focus on the Premier League because it's a priority in the situation we're in. We have a crucial week this week. We have to stand up and we have to pick up points. Let's draw a line and move forward. And again, you make your manager look very smart with that, because that's advice heeded. You've heeded the advice today, and I can't complain with any of these players. So there's no post-game comments. Apologies, people, and I'm aware there's super chats and things like that. Let me get to them now. I can't bring them up on screen, but purely because I was how do I make it make sense? Purely because I'm gonna clip them up, people, and I'm well aware some of they're not even coming up. I'm well aware some of you like to watch my reviews like just off the back. You're not interested in the live stream, so I don't like to mess that up, that sort of stuff up, man. I appreciate that, my guy. I appreciate that. So yeah, this is what you lot can see here. But yeah, that's all dead, man. You've got Arsenal there. What are you lot saying? What did you lot think about the game anyways, people? Enjoy it, man. Said enjoy the cocktail. It's just some Kool-Aid, man. It was Hennessy and some Kool-Aid, but it's just some Kool-Aid, and I got some lemon and limes in there.